Didn't know I watched a child slipping away. If I never see her again, don't know why. If I ever see her again, I don't know when. Turned out to be totally prophetic, exactly. I mean, I couldn't have written a better song about what ultimately happened than that, and that was like years before she left me. I guess it all seemed too good to be true. The last time I held her hand, I didn't know the time was sand slipping away. Last time I watched her smile, I didn't know I watched a child slipping away. If I never see her again, won't know why. And if I ever see her again, I don't know when. Peggy and I were in the kitchen. We were watching TV. It was the news. They were showing the people that had died. It was silence, and they were just showing the people died in the war that week. And Peggy was weeping. And I thought it was because of the dead soldiers. And then when it was finished, she said to me, I told Doug 2 days ago I'm leaving you. And I said, you just ruined my life. And that's what happened. 28 years of me and her together, and she said that, and that was the end. Peggy's gone. She says it's for good. I say that's bad, but then I would. The day that she dropped me off after we signed our divorce papers, the last thing she said to me was, I feel like I'm dropping a family dog off at the pound. And that's where these next lines came from. What am I supposed to do? I ask myself, I'm asking you. There's a reason to live. I suspect that it's true. But can I trust someone like you? Peggy's gone, till death do us part. Will it be me, or will it just be my heart? A promise that's kept, a promise betrayed. Is it just as it seems, or is it just as delayed? Am I some old dog you drop off at the pound? If you're gonna leave me, you need to have me put down. Peggy's gone. Yeah, I can't sing this song in public. I sang it one time, and I realized it gives lonely people the wrong idea. It's not how you're supposed to end a song. That next song is She Laughs. Toy had a girlfriend, and back when he lived in the room next to me there, and the only thing I ever heard out of that room was her laughing. It's like, sort of like interesting. Is just like, it's nice to have laughter in the house. She laughs, I can hear her through the wall. She laughs. We had a call one time when I was working with Celebrity Talent. They needed somebody to model for photographers, and the photographers were going to give them copies of the pictures. And Peggy went in and they took this picture of her. Peggy left me 4.5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in September. Although Peggy was 50 when she left, she still was a girl to me. There was a time when time was just a chime ringing in the living room. Your cuckoo clock you set each night didn't matter if you got it right, because time didn't matter. Time. This is the damper right here. It literally is holding the string still, and you press down on the right pedal and it lifts it up. So if you play a note, it just will continue to ring. And it'll ring until it runs out of energy, or unless you put the damper down. I think a lot of people try to create a damper so they don't feel so much, they don't hurt. Looking back down through my veil of tears, try not to jump to conclusions about the wasting of years. Can you hear that? My whole bed is singing. You see, my bed is a broke piano. I turn it on its side, I took off the damper, and I sleep on it. It has no damper. That's my problem. I have no damper. I have a dream, it wakes me up crying. I feel the touch, your hand on my arm. Da 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 da. The night she told me that she was leaving me, I said, why? She says, because you wouldn't marry me. And I said, I would marry you. 6 days later, we got married. She called me her husband. I called her my wife for the first time. I didn't really want to call her my wife. She was my mate. People would say, when people asked me about how my life was going, how's your world? I would say, Peggy Mitchell loves me. That was my answer. For years, Peggy Mitchell loves me was the only answer to any of the questions about my state of being, because she rescued me from the despair that I was living in after losing our baby. So anyhow, we married. She had this list of things that we were doing, like, well, she had a list of things we were doing to get closer and closer and closer, to free ourselves. We sold the house we used to live in, things like that. And from my perspective, I thought that the list was to make things better in our life. In retrospect, I realized the list was things she had to get done before she could leave me. Big empty house. You know, Peggy's clothes are still in her drawers. Her clothes are still hanging in the closet. Her boots are still on the rack. I'm a broke man. All the physical symptoms I have are the same as when a girl named Linda Norman dumped me in college. I would carry her books, and I think we held hands a time or two, and then she went away with a guy named Dwight. And I feel now the same way I felt then. It's the same. And I figure if it took me 2 weeks to get over her because we'd been together 2 weeks, there might be a correlation, which means I've got 28 years of getting over my puppy love for Peggy, which puts me at beyond the limit. That means I'm just going to be alone for the rest of my life. When the sun begins to shine, they'll be leaving you behind. Where do they go? Where do they go?
When the sun shoots out the night, all your fuzzy little friends take flight. Where do they go? They're out of sight. Be back when the sun goes down, just leave a little light around. They will return without a sound for you. When the sun begins to shine, they'll be leaving you behind. Where do they go? Where do they go?
Here comes lonely. So I found out today that Peggy and Doug got married. And then, in the wake of that, another friend tells me, oh, they've been married for many months. And when she first left me for Doug and told me she was leaving me, I said things, you know, like, I want to kill him and all that stuff, which I still want to do. I mean, I would have no problem killing him because he betrayed me. Our relationship proved to me, or at least I thought proved to me, that two people could love each other. And when I asked her before she left, I said, you said, we always agreed that we were each other's destiny. I mean, from the first days we met, it was like that. It was like, this is our destiny. And then she said, well, I have a new destiny. It's like, it's that simple.
Dear Doug, there have been times in many cultures where I would be honor-bound to take your life for what you've done to me. I would also be honor-bound to take the life of Peggy.
They can't say I didn't warn them. They can't say I didn't tell them. They can't say I didn't write it in a letter. They ought to read their letter. They can't say I didn't warn them.
I got no secret.
They can't say I didn't tell them.
I tell no
They
lies.
can't say I didn't write it in a letter. They ought to read their letter.
I got no secrets.
It is a natural urge for me to think of solving this crisis by ending your earthly journey. We live in a culture where every night on TV we can see that we can solve our problems by bringing a loaded gun into play. Bringing a loaded gun into play. Bringing a loaded gun into play.
Everybody get it. They can't say I didn't warn them. Can't say I didn't tell them.
Everybody get it.
They can't say I didn't write it in a letter. They ought to read their letter. They can't say I didn't warn them. Can't say I didn't tell them. Can't say I didn't write it in a letter. They ought to read their letter. Oh, Dilly, what did you do? Don't fuck my woman. I killed my wife and her boyfriend too. Don't fuck my woman. Oh, Dilly, what you gonna do? Don't fuck my woman. I'm gonna kill myself when the song is through.
You made the stars disappear. You said the words that I most feared. Why in the world would a boy want a girl like you? I reach out and touch thin air. Ours is the flesh we no longer share. Why in the world would I cry for a girl like you? But I do. Yes, I do. Words that we said when we were wed. I do, I do. Why in the world would I cry for a girl like you? Why in the world would a guy want